Hello everyone, welcome to all. Once again, myself Janisha from St. Joseph Composite PU College, Department of Economics. So in the previous episode, we have discussed about so many concepts regarding the economic development. So that human development indicator, so that is also one of the main indicator for the economic development, because economic development can be possible that is only when the human beings or the human welfare if it is good. So that we can say that human development indicators also very essential for the development of a economy. And today in this episode I am going to discuss about another one concept, that is gender related development. Then we'll move on to this part. Gender related development, here it is. So gender we can classify like male ratio as well as a female ratio. So as we know that the male people, so at the beginning only they will get a higher opportunities, that is in all the fields like education, employment, and also what other field. But in the case of female, so females or the women, so they have to be not enjoyed that much independent in a certain sectors. So that, but nowadays the role of women in development process is very significant, because she can also work in almost all kind of sectors. Women who form half of the population have the capability to work in all fields of economic system. And also it is the duty of civilized society to provide social, economic, educational and political equality to women. Means it is our duty, means every citizens or civilized society's duty, that is to provide equality, that is in the field of socially, economically, educationally and also politically. Before the independence, we have to study about the condition of female ratio, right? There are a lot of gender discrimination have been existed, so that after independence our constitution has made or assured equality of freedom and opportunities to both men and women. Then also still there are so many discrimination and also violence against women is frequently reported. And this only suggests that women are not yet given equality in all the spheres and making them secondary partners in economic growth. But for the development part, both men and women, their role is very essential. Gender discrimination may be seen in various dimensions of Indian society, economy and also polity. That means we have to see many dimensions, in many ways we can observe the gender discrimination, that is on the basis of socially, economically and also politically. Sex ratio, the number of females for every 1,000 males, is the most important indicator. Yes, that is what we can say, that sex ratio is what? That is very important indicator, because the number of males, that is what higher than the females. So which reveals that the treatment outed to women in a society. And also in India, because of all round discrimination against female and preference for male child, the sex ratio was barely, that is 943 in the year 2011. Means according to 2011 census we can say that the sex ratio, that is only 943. That means 943 is what the female ratios against 1,000 what male population. Similarly, in the case of literacy rate. So in the case of literacy rate, among women was 65.46% in 2011 compared to 82.14% among men. Means in the 2011, the education rate or the literacy rate, the women rate was only 65.46%, but the male literacy rate it was 82.14%, that is in the year 2011. So this is what the second instance for we can say that gender discrimination. Why? Because even today some people thinking women do not need education, and in some places adequate schooling facilities may not be available. So this is what one of the reason. One more instance we can say that if you look at the workplace, right? So women mainly work in unorganized activities like agriculture, construction, small scale industries at lower wages than the men. If it is men also working in same workplace, he will get a maximum amount of income or wage comparing to female or the women. And it is also true that here also the women are not free to spend the income that they can earn. So with a low education, not many of them are seen in better and highly paid positions. So this is what the present also the women's face such kind of conditions. So that in order to promote participation of women in economic activities and thereby achieve economic empowerment, self-help groups or SHGs are being formed in all the villages and cities. So the main intention of the self-help groups is to making or to promote the participation of women, especially in the economic activities. As a result, she can also independent, financially independent. So this is what the main aim of this self-help groups. A self-help groups is a group of women which consists of 20 and who come together to share their meager resources. It may be obtain external support and undertake business jointly and earn income. Means here the women they made a group here and also they share their meager resources. It may be a small amount of money, and also along with that they can get the support from bank and financial institutions. Under that they'll jointly start their business and earn income. So that self-help groups have been instrumental in helping women to earn and save and also spend their at their willingness. Means the self-help groups it can make women independently, financially independent. To why? Because to earn, save and to spend their willingness. And also this has been increases their dignity and prestiges in this society. In this way we can say that so gender, there is both male and female, so they can contribute to the economic development. Okay students, so this is what the main indicators of the economic development, that is income indicator, human development indicator and also the gender related development. Okay students, so in the next episode we'll start new concepts. So until that you just revise those concepts. Thank you.